Hi and welcome to GamingFace.com's Global Agenda Review and Guide. Now, Global Agenda has actually been out for a while, but it's just recently released an expansion pack, so we thought we'd take the opportunity to boot up the game and have a look at it and see what they've done and see what this game's all about. If you don't know, Global Agenda is a free-to-play first-person slash third-person slash MMO game. Now, I know it's all a little bit confusing, so let me just quickly explain to you. It's a first-person shooter taken from third-person mode. That basically means you still have a crosshair and it acts like a normal first-person shooter game, but your perspective is third-person. That's mainly because there's a melee element to the game, so therefore you need to see what's around your character and whatever else. But you still got your cursor and you still have to physically target on your opponents to shoot them. Unlike some other third-person games where you tab target, things like World of Warcraft and stuff like that. Once you've got your target set, you can do whatever else you want. Global Agenda actually physically requires you to target the mob you want to kill. So now, when I say it's an MMO, it is an MMO, but it's not in the traditional sense of MMO. But there is a leveling aspect to the game. So if you're looking for the type of game which is just going to get you straight into the action, but also give you the benefits of leveling up like World of Warcraft and getting an achievement for your efforts that you put into the game, then Global Agenda is something you definitely want to look at. Now, Global Agenda is free, but there's a couple of different elements to upgrading your character. So the first part of the game that is free gives you all the PvP and PvE aspects of the game, but you don't get access to things like the auction house and in-game mailing system. If you want access to them, you then have to purchase what they call the Elite Agent Package. So you get the Elite Agent Package for about $20, and you can have access to all elements of the game. That package also gives you an upgrade bonus to your XP and loot that you receive as well. On top of that, you can get extra bonuses with the booster packs, which basically double your XP and give you extra loot again. So let's go into the game now and have a bit of a look at some of the class systems. First class we have here is Robotics. They're kind of a droid engineer type character where they build drones and they build healing stations and turrets and stuff like that and manage everything through these stations that they build. The second class we have here is a Medic. Medic can either be a poison specialist or a healing specialist depending on what you want to do, so you can actually DPS if you play Medic as well. Recon are your sniper and stealth attack type character. They can sneak up behind you and stab you in the back and kill you that way, or they could take you out using sniper abilities from range, so you'll never actually see them. It's all about stealth. That's what Recon's all about. The next class is Assault. Now, Assault is a primary tanking class in the game. They also are very effective DPS using heavy artillery. So they don't move as fast as some of the other classes, but they really do pack a punch, and they've got heavy armor as well, so they can take quite a bit of beating as well. All their special abilities evolve around damage reduction, stuff like that. So if you've got one of each class in any of the quests you have to do, you've got a very formidable team. For the purpose of this review, I'll just show you what the character creation is like. We're going to create an Assault character here. It's a female character. As you can see, there's a variety of different aspects you can change. Jaw length, jaw width, hairstyle, hair colour, facial features. It is very extensive. You can do so much work here. If you spend enough time, you can make most of the characters look like yourself. Unless you're kind of really strange looking like me. So that's why I've chosen to make it look like my wife. So as you can see here, we're just going through and changing everything: lip color, lipstick, the thickness of the lips. It's very extensive, as I said. So now what we'll do is we'll jump into the game and have a bit of a look around. At this stage, Global Agenda has 2 major questing zones and also 1 major city. So the 2 deserts are around the same size, and they might take you anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes to fly from one end of the map right over to the other side. As you can see in this map, you've got a centre base, but there's things to do all around the map. If we go into the city, I'll just give you a brief look at the city and have a bit more closer look at our character. When starting a character in Global Agenda, you get all the essential tools that you need. You get a melee weapon, a couple of ranged weapons, a jetpack, a hands-free jetpack to allow you to fly around and do your stuff without having to swap weapons. And also you get a few different offhands as well. These are all basic versions of the items which you then upgrade later on down the track as you level. As you can see here, we've got EMP grenades, a shield, and a range shield as well there. We can get a boost item, which is for an extra special ability, and also consumables, which can be a boost to your jetpack or an extra shield or something like that. All the classes have 3 different trees. If you have balance in this particular one, a tank and destroyer. Destroyer is our DPS type class. Tank is obviously the damage taking class, the tanking class. And balance gives you a few different options to optimize the class and the way in which you want to play it. So if you want a little bit more power to allow you to shoot for longer periods of time, you put a couple of points into the balance tree to give you that extra power. Dome City is a central hub for the whole game. It's basically where you hang out, it's where you get all your armor upgrades, it's where you optimize your appearance, it's where you change your specs. All your initial starting quests will be within the dome, and basically it'll just get you introduced to your character and show you where all the different things around Dome City are. It's basically sent me to the your stat optimization center here. So this area you can change your class trees. So if you want to swap between DPS and tank at the start of a quest line, you can do that. Say for instance you've gone into an instance and there's already another tank in there, you could swap out and be DPS instead of tank. So it gives you the option to swap out there. Looking around the city here, as you can see, there's not a lot of people running around. Now it's not because there's not a lot of people in the game. The game is actually spread out across multiple servers. I've seen up to like 60 different servers at any one time. Now, all these servers can communicate with each other. So all the dome cities, there might be 50 dome cities, and you go into one of these little portals just near the door there, and you basically can jump from one dome city to the other and talk to your friends or go out and hang out physically with your friends. But all the cities can actually physically communicate with each other. So it basically, rather than having multiple servers where you choose to log on one particular server, you just log into the game, and then depending on server load, it puts you where it needs to put you. It's the same for the questing areas. The 2 deserts are split up onto multiple servers, just to prevent multiple characters having to fight for the same area or for the same spawn for a particular quest. It just makes for extremely smooth, fast gameplay with little lag, and you still have the ability to join quests with others, and you can swap from one server to the other in a matter of seconds. It doesn't take long at all. As you level up, as you can see here, I'm moving fairly fast across this desert here. You get extra jetpack skills and bonuses which allow you to move faster, so you can actually get across and around the world really fast at higher levels. When you're ready, you can try out some different instances. You can either try a dungeon, or you can try some PvP in the form of a mercenary mission. You can try raids at times. They appear every hour or so. You can jump into a raid pug. You can try some arena, so 4 versus 4 style gaming. Or you can try what they call agency versus agency, AVA, which allows you to put 2 complete guild teams against each other. This time around we're going to jump into a special operation mission. We'll go for a maximum security one here and give you a bit of a look at what maximum security questing is all about. Now, the most amazing thing about the instance system in the game is how quickly everything happens. Whether it be PvP or PvE, it doesn't matter what class you're playing. The servers instantly put you into a group really fast, usually playing within a group within a matter of a minute. As you can see there, it took literally seconds. Now, the way in which the instances work, the dungeons in the game, is you fight your way through a zone and you have a boss at the end. The biggest difference is you have a timer. As you can see here, we've got about 15 minutes on the timer there, and we have to get through and kill the boss within that 15 minutes. If you don't do it within that 15 minutes, that's it, you fail the mission, you've got to start again. You miss out on your loot, although you do get some XP and credit bonuses at the end of it, even if you do fail. So it's not a total loss if you do fail. If you make it through without having too many deaths, you get extra bonus XP and loot and stuff like that. All these dungeons and instances will also give you bonus loot if you purchase the booster packs and the elite agent package as well. So as you can see here, I'm the main tank, and the robo's doing his job, and he's got his healing stations down and force walls up there by the robo as well. So we're fighting the boss now, and it doesn't take us too long. As you can see, the whole instance is done in about 12.5 minutes. We've got in there, in a matter of seconds. We've got the boss down in a matter of 12 minutes, and we've got our loot, and we're out of there. Unlike other games where they force you to literally find your way through different creatures for anywhere up to 2 hours it can take in some stages. This game is bang, you're in there, you're out of there, you got your loot, you got your upgrades, and you're on to doing the next thing. My wife loves it because she comes in, she asks me how long I'm going to be. I can tell her instantly how long it's going to take me to finish that instance. Next we'll have a look at mercenary missions, which is PvP. As you can see, there's 5 different styles of PvP we can do. It's kind of like capture the flag, defend the base, that type of different varieties. Now, to get into a PvP match, it doesn't take long as well. Just like the PvE matches, you're in there within a matter of seconds. The timer pops up right now, gives us 19 seconds to get into the match, which we'll jump in and we'll give it a crack. Now, I'm not the best PvPer, so I'm going to speed it up here just so you can't see all my flaws. So at this match, we have a device moving along a rail. One team needs to attack it, the other team needs to defend it. They need to get it from one side of the map to the other. The defending team needs to stop it from moving. The attacking team needs to achieve different pointers. In the match here, we're doing extremely well preventing the red team, which is just a mix-up of other players exactly the same as me. Doesn't matter what class I am or what guild I'm in, I could end up on either side. So it constantly just randomly picks players and pops them in there. It doesn't matter what you choose to play. PvP is all mixed up, so it's not like you have 2 different factions, one plays against the other, so you don't get the unbalance there. The Elite Agent Pack and the Booster Pack here gives me bonus awards. As you can see, I've got 2 epic items, which would be a nice upgrade for my character. Now, we've got out of our PvP match just in time for the raid alarm to go off in the city, so we get notified that the raids are available. And what we'll do now is bring up the M key again, and as you can see, raids are flashing. We can jump into a defense raid, which we're going to do. We're going to jump into the raid, and it'll put us into a pug. There's a 9-minute window where you can join a group, and it basically, as soon as there's enough people in there, it will throw you into a raid. Now, if you've played any of the other MMO games out there, you usually need to set aside a whole night to do a raid. It could take 3 or 4 hours to do a raid in the evening. Again, with Global Agenda, it's nothing like that. We just want to show you roughly how long it takes to get in there. So, we've probably been waiting in line now for about 30 seconds, and while we're doing that, we'll just watch these girls dancing. Bang, our raid is ready. So again, under a minute, our raid's ready, we're ready to go. And this particular raid is a defense raid. And what you do, you have different stages or different waves of mobs coming in, and the 10 people in this raid need to defend the area. I'll pick my class. This time around, I think I'm going to go to DPS rather than tanking spec. There's quite a few different classes in here, so I'm going to go for my destroyer spec and do the raid in my destroyer spec. And again, I will speed up the raid for you so you can see what it's like without having to sit through the whole thing. Players are eligible to join the Global Agenda raids from level 30 and above. You can join in a group with your agency members, or just friends, or just pug like I've done here. The pug groups are fairly well balanced as far as the amount of tanks and healers and DPS, and most of the time they're successful. Unlike other pug systems that I've experienced, I found that the pug system in Global Agenda is usually fairly balanced. The other thing that Global Agenda does really well is their voice communication system. When you're in a team or in a raid like I am here, the voice system just works. Everybody seems to be very clear, and I haven't had any issues whatsoever with the voice system. As you can see, the graphics in Global Agenda are visually attractive. All the special effects look great, the characters look great, the world textures, the whole environment looks fabulous. But will it run on your PC? We tested the game on a variety of different PCs here. We tested all aspects of the game, including raiding, PvP, and general farming around the world. the way in which we tested is we used fraps to monitor frame rates to record the lowest possible frame rate that would happen in a game. So say for instance we're doing this raid, we're watching fraps and we'll see where the frame rate will fall to. If you can manage to stay above 30 frames per second on most systems, you're going to have a fairly pleasurable gaming experience. The system we used to record this video is an Intel Core 2 Extreme Edition Q6800 running at 3.34 GHz. It has 8 GB of RAM running on Windows 7 64-bit and has an ATI Radeon 5870 graphics card with 1 GB of RAM. So it's fairly high-end, but all the details are cranked up to their absolute maximum. I threw Global Agenda at a variety of different systems, an old system using an 8800 GeForce card, a GTX 260 graphics card, a HD 4850 graphics card. In all cases, the system just didn't slow down. The gaming performance seemed really smooth, it always looked good, so I thought I had to find something a little bit slower. So I installed Global Agenda on my HP netbook. It's got a 1.3 gig CPU. It uses an NVIDIA G105M graphics card, which is an integrated graphics card. It has 4 gig of RAM. It is designed specifically for battery life. It's not designed for gaming in any way, shape or form. But to my surprise, Global Agenda actually booted up and ran at reasonable frame rates. Now when I say reasonable, I'm talking about 15 to 20 frames per second, running quests, basic quests around the Scenario Desert and the 2 major instance zones. Now this does not include PvP or raiding type scenarios. In PvP you need something quite a bit faster. Last but not least is Global Agenda's crafting system. It allows you to craft different things for your armor, weapons, and also consumables for the world, which you can either use yourself or sell on the auction house for some extra credits. Whilst farming for the mats to demonstrate crafting in game, I ran into a little bit of an issue. One of the GMs decided to ban my account for farming. Although they told me that they sent me an in-game whisper, I wasn't able to see it because I was testing on my mini notebook and was not able to read the chat as the text was too small, and I received no email communications. I decided to ring Global Agenda to discuss the issue about the banning of the account, and they explained to me that they had taken an aggressive stance on AFK farming. Now as a gamer, I really know how bad farming and AFK bots can be in an MMO world, and I fully support an aggressive stance against any type of hacking or AFK farming. But I do highly recommend to Global Agenda to at least send an email to any paying account prior to banning them to let them know that they are in breach of the user agreement. I believe every paying account deserves at least a warning email before being permanently banned from the game. I was extremely impressed with my experience in Global Agenda. It's been able to satisfy both my MMO and FPS gaming needs. If you haven't tried Global Agenda yet, I highly recommend you download it and give it a go.